People are calling the Makera Z1 the Bamboo Labs of CNC machines. The easiest entry point for absolute beginners. It's compact, costs around $1,200 and promises to make desktop machining accessible. Let's find out and see if it actually lives up to that hype. First, I want to talk about why I was interested in this machine. Because in the past, I've ordered CNC machine parts from JLC and PCBWay and the quality has been fantastic. But even tiny parts can easily cost $80 to $100, and sometimes that's worth it for beautiful anodized aluminum parts, but most of the time I don't need anything fancy, I just want something stronger than PPACF or want something other than plastic for decorative purposes. Think wood or brass. So when Makera contacted me and asked me if I'd like a free review unit, I agreed, but only under the condition that I could make a completely honest review. That means showing the good, the bad, and the mistakes I made as a complete beginner. Let me show you some of the projects I've made in the last months. My first project was this tiny test tray made out of wood, and I made it over a year ago, and I've been using it to test the quality of my 3D printers, and I thought it would be fun to see what it looks like in wood. So the first thing I did was import it to Makera Studio. They offer a guided mode for making 3D relief, where I could just drag the model in and it asks me for the stock size, so I measured my wood sample, and then Makera Studio suggested what tools to use and what paths to use. After following all of these recommendations, all I had to do was export and select send to the machine. Just like a 3D printer, it began its routine. Drawing out the outline with a laser, marking the area that it's about to drill, then leveling with a probe, and next prompting me to change my tool. The process was easy, and after about 2 hours I had my first wooden piece. Now, using wood for the first time on my own 3D models felt like magic, but naturally my very first machine piece looked kind of out of shape. So over the next few weeks I spent my time studying toolpaths, bits, and how to create clean looking parts. With a lot of failures in between, failures like broken bits. All of these are broken bits, and I broke quite a few more in my testing, I just already threw them away. Or incorrect settings and loose workpieces. Let's take a look at some of my favorite parts I've made with the Makera Z1. So the first problem I want to fix are my glasses. About 2 years ago, my glasses frames, the arms snapped, and I repaired them with a 3D printed part. Now, this isn't really an issue, it holds up really well. The only thing I don't like about this is it's made out of carbon fiber filament, since that's the stiffest you can find. But the issue here is that carbon fiber filament isn't really good for the skin. So I wanted to improve that by making an aluminum version of my glasses arms. And that's it. These are my upgraded aluminum glasses frames. They're quite a bit stiffer and they look pretty nice. Everything worked out quite well and the details were super fine, so this really proves the machine can do fine details well. This part basically taught me how to drill the holes, and it was only one layup, so I just had to lay it flat and everything cut out direct with tabs. Okay, so for the next part, I wanted to do something that I needed aluminum for, because the 3D printed parts were just not stiff enough. Let me quickly go back to that project, show you the introduction I made in my last video. Let me introduce you to my parents' fridge. This thing has been broken for many years, and every time I look at it, I think I could easily 3D print these door handles. So recently I took the fridge door handles apart, looked at them, and found out that they're completely over-engineered. And ultimately people in the comments asked me, what happened to that project? Did it work out properly? And for a couple of days the 3D printed version ended up fine, but the issue was this piece bends simply too much under the force of the screws and the door handles with people pulling it, so the sliding action ended up not working properly. My fix for this was just copy the original design of the fridge door handles, make the bottom aluminum, the top piece plastic. And this project turned out perfectly. Here you can see this is the final piece. I sliced it in half so that I have a 10mm piece at the bottom, which perfectly fits my stock. And it was cut on 2 sides. And these are the areas where I left the tabs to hold the metal piece in at the end so that I can just cut it out. And this is something that I noticed over multiple of my projects, that the tabs itself leave the machining marks, and without the tabs you wouldn't have any of these machining marks. And for anyone asking, yes, this project ended up working perfectly. They're stiff enough for my parents' fridge door handles, and they've been hanging there for about a month now without a problem. Okay, so for the next project, my girlfriend made this beautiful painting, and we tried to hang it on the wall with nails, and they broke. So I opened up Fusion 360 and went all the way in. And this is what I came up with, these 3 mounts, and these guys contain threads inside of them, so I can just screw a 3D printed part in them. And honestly, in my experience so far, threads have been one of my favorite things. Just model threads right into your parts, no problem, no inserts needed. And the last piece I want to show you is this simple model of a utility knife. I designed it to make sure there's enough space for the 2mm drill bit to fit into all corners, leaving round drill bit sized pockets in the edges, because remember, round drill bits cannot make sharp pointy corners. I also mentioned tabs earlier, which tend to leave unclean edges, and I will also avoid these here. So the game plan is simple. Make a holder for the workpiece to be machined. The holder will elevate the workpiece above the low profile clamps, allowing for the tool to move freely around it, and this will also allow me to cut it out without tabs. But additionally, I can turn the workpiece around, leave 1mm stock extra, and shave it off at the last step to keep both sides evenly looking and clean. Now that's the plan. Let's get to machining this part. But like any machine, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The last thing I want to talk about is my concerns I had regarding this machine going into it, and my concerns I have now going out of this review. First concern I had was the noise. Is it too loud? Is it super loud? And yeah, it's quite loud. It's definitely louder than the 3D printers, but for the occasional quick part and project, it's totally fine in a home environment. And I put it into my cupboard with a closed door, and at that point it becomes about the same volume as a 3D printer. Then the next worry I had was Makera Cam. I heard online that it was quite limiting and I saw a lot of people using Fusion Cam instead. But personally, I found it very easy and logical to use and quite enjoyable, aside from the occasional bugs, which I will get into in a second. Alright, next the concerns I have after using this machine for a month, and I think anyone should hear these before buying a CNC machine. First, CNC machining is very messy, chips and dust will fly everywhere, and even at the bottom of the machine you'll find chips and dust, so there's no real way around it. Next, this also means that the rails will gunk up over time and you will have to maintain the machine way more regularly than a 3D printer. Aside from this, the fine dust is also something to be aware of. It's a real health concern for your lung, and I personally recommend wearing a respirator when machining certain materials like carbon fiber sheets because they're very toxic for your health. And the last worry I had is the software bugs and that there's no AMD GPU support currently. So if you have an AMD GPU, expect the software not to work at all on your computer. But aside from all of this, does this machine actually live up to the hype? Is it a great machine, easy to use, and accessible for beginners? Well, all of this comes down to CNC machining requiring skill. Programming a CNC machine is a well-paid full-time job, and yes, you can rely on automatic recommendations, but there's only so much they can do. You will still have to consider part orientation, tool length, and if your tool can actually reach the part that you want to machine. All of this requires thought and knowledge, but I'm not saying this to discourage you. I personally found the same joy 3D printing as when I'm CNC machining. I had a lot of fun, and personally I'm excited to improve my skills, research all the additional bits, and take my parts to the next level. And overall, this kind of summarizes my experience with the machine. It's easy to use, but machining great parts takes a lot of skill. Which brings me to the last thing I want to talk about, which is my top 5 list of Makera Z1 accessories, because when I started my journey, I also backed this project in December. I was totally overwhelmed by what accessories to get and what I even need. So here are my top 5 accessories ranked by importance. Number 5 is the 4th axis module. Originally I thought this was going to be super important, but personally I didn't use it very much, and you'll only need it with round shapes. Number 4, something I sort of underestimated, is the vacuum. You can buy any vacuum, but I personally recommend a dedicated vacuum for this machine because it produces a ton of dust and chips. Number 3 would be the low profile vise. It's super useful for quick part changing and quick orientation changing. And number 2 would be the 6mm Spindle Collet. It allows you to use thicker bits, which make machining quicker and sometimes can leave a nicer, cleaner surface finish. And the last but most important is the 3D probe. I think this one's almost essential. You probe the corners of the part and you can locate your piece in 3D space. And that's it. If you're interested in picking up the Makera Z1 or any of its accessories, I left my affiliate links down in the description below. It would help me out a lot and it's free of charge to you guys. Other than that, thank you very much and I wish you a great day. Bye!